to be struggling to find too much, although saying that, they have managed to get at least a little bit of extra ground, the flash through, along with the paranoia, but no one's actually capitalized off it. Mini, though, there he is. Spoke about him. Not quite the one I was thinking of, but that's a huge couple of kills to get them back into the round.
Yeah, this one's definitely standing tall with those picks and a third under his belt. Gentlemates have recovered beautifully, and now the push down below. They are revealed, so a good idea, and a stun followed through. Slow down that peak from up top. The star doesn't catch. Kamek does, and Mini!
And out of the server. Question is, though, can they find anything more? That was one of the rifles, by the way. I think that might even be both of them now. The Bulldog's still in hand, but at least that Phantom is still dropped in bottom mid, so there's not really anywhere near as much to play with as they had at the beginning of this round.
Trade-off. Not even coming in the forms of picks, a bit of map control that's being conceded, as we can see. Team Liquid with a very passive approach, and a lot of this comes down to knowing that that utility is likely to be fired in if they were on site. The stun will buy some time, it will isolate Camo on the site, and they'll find the pick as a result, catching a headshot, but not the kill on the walkout. With Kiko taking Kata, this one looks very difficult indeed. Kamek.
30 seconds left.
Zero actually isn't the best eventually. We'll peek back out, look to delay. Salvos to the back of sight, and a lurk coming through from Mini, maybe trying to catch players out. Zipan those done well, playing that entry role, but Kiko still sits within this site. 14 seconds left, they have to try and get that planted, and now the full force of this Liquid roster are into position, trying to basically swarm out. Gentlemates is exactly what they've done, leaving just one standing, and this time, well...
For being able to take that across the line. Now, Armageddon thrown in on middle. That's the Viper's pit that's being put into question, and Nats dropped. The pit is gone, and the reward for the side of Gentlemates is huge. That's an opening pick, and they've got a pit of their own if they get to a site, which now should be a little bit easier.
If anything, though, I feel like the ults have somewhat been the undoing of these squads. Almost caught out, but Serial hasn't found the damage he was hoping for. No lucky charms to be found this time, and unfortunately that means that they are going to have to fall back out of the site. You mentioned that Viper's pit, and honestly, from this stage, I think Liquid safe.
I mean, just look at the credits. 500 between the three players that currently have rifles. Including the vent position being held by Kiko, and it looks like he has got some enemies at the gates. A big kill to start, but can't correct for the second. 3v4. But moving back to the A site, Team Liquid are still very much here.
Yeah, that's the problem. They didn't pull any rotations with even their fake. And while Paditek has done well from the site, again, we get down to the last few seconds, 12, to try and make their move. It's left all on to Kata. A player coming in from behind, and that will be enough.
Keep on that slow grind. Keep the numbers close. Right away, that showstopper's used up, and it's Serial that finds the rocket heading his way. Trade onto Nats as well. Backside fight goes Kiko's way. He picks up the first, but the stun is good. Teammates come rushing in from heaven, though. The cover is here, and there's nowhere to go, surely. But Kata, he slips out, manages to come from the shadows out on the A side and find himself a plant. From here, though, 3 players he's facing off against. They could group up, and that's exactly what they'll do. Approach this one together. Down towards the screens already. He's hearing one, but they're making it towards the site. They'll see it's a plant for heaven. Still, there's a bit of a stagger and a rotation as a result. Kiko's going to be here, but it's Paditek as the front line of defense, and he is immediately shut down. The one kill, though, Kiko slips back onto the site. Mini is eagerly awaiting his arrival. Camo shuts down one, and it's the spike. A small delay that's put into play. It'll be retrieved now by Kata. The ult is seeking and finding all that info.
Still, it's a little bit awkward for the rest of the players to make sure every single angle is clear. Spike's still not down. They are within the site, all stuck behind. They have to try and peek together. Camo!
A little undefended, a little open. And mates are walking right into that empty space. Big pick from Mini.
It seems like he's almost become their entry fragger. This guy is playing that Viper, but it almost feels at times that the calling is around himself. Like, can I do this? Can I put the world on my back? And to be honest, in the rounds they've won, he has been a bit of a hero for them. This is so risky. 45 HP, I was gonna say, it needed to be an instant headshot. doesn't manage to get the kill, and finally we see the awakening of Click. A little bit quiet thus far, but if they can get the last couple of rounds, there's at least a good chance.
30 seconds
7 to 5, nothing to turn your nose at. And of course, like I said, Team Liquid will feel comfortable with a cushion like this moving into the next half, but mates, can't think about your opponent's strengths. Alvos come in. Not good for the kill. The shorty comes out though as Click's baited in. He thinks it's an off on the other side, so he won't like the close range engagement, but he was primed and ready for it.
They put salvos behind, so they knew where he'd be.
Has to be stuck close. They had a read on the one long barrel, but not the two short ones. Team Liquid still keeping presence A. There was a chance here the Kiko was on the rotate, but he's going to be ready for a second run on this operator.
Whether they place... Ooh, I was going to say, whether they place the Rolling Thunder. There you go. He's used it immediately, because almost died seconds later. And that time is ticking again. This has been the problem for mates. That clock getting lower and lower, and the spike down on the deck, it didn't even matter.
He's already past the stun. I mean, they both are. They're so close, ready for the fight. But Kamek and Click are the ones finding the kills. Click was able to walk down the stairs there from up in B Heaven and claim that frag. Nats tries to recover on picks, but finds nothing short of a shot back from Zipan after his burst. And Patatek and Serial now have a 2 versus 4. They're on opposite sides of the map. The spike is at least under their control. We still have a Haunt, a Prowler to work with. 50 seconds on the clock for Patatek. It's a combination of wanting to keep this control. But I thought maybe waiting for Serial to wrap around, but they are just going to send this down 2 different avenues. It's a big risk. They'll have to win their ones.
The timing, well, the stun hasn't connected, and now for Serial, this becomes nigh on impossible. In fact, he's going to be spotted out by Zipan.
A lot to find value if they don't get the early picks, which they really didn't with that util. And the post plants were hard to come by. 1-to-1 trades here. Not ideal. That's a weapon picked up on the other side. A classic running through mid. Has just found a pickup in Heaven, and there is mistake after mistake with an outlaw picked up. Everybody's in danger. Those light shields might as well not be there. And so, it's Mini.
Picked up from Liquid. They will get into a post plant. That's gonna, oh yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, okay. I did not expect him to miss one. This is a 2v2. This round really should have been over, but somehow now we've got some weaponry retrieved. That same sniper that dealt death in the last is back in their hands again.
They've recovered it, but recovering the round's a whole different story. Those 2 rifles up against the clock. You know there's an Astra in play. Always the potential for the grab. Well, you might think he's playing the post plant, but he's still on site. Still, he will be caught. Mini.
Have a smile on his face, but I think it's the time. Already going to start ticking. A quick jump over. Well done from Kiko, getting 2 out of that. We could have the most horrible back and forth to start off this map, but Mini still standing. That at least gives me hope.
Oh, I was going to say don't do Kata like that, but, well, Nats has done it for you. It's Mini. Left to do it all. The 1v3, the rifle in his hands, and credits good for him. Look, he's got 4K. Why is he not going for it?
Probably be the greatest Bucky play we've ever seen. Now, luckily, he's not been hit by the Nightfall. First kill goes his way. Got a little bit of help from that Viper screen. Looking for a little more. Almost gets the second. It's a nice try.
It is, but
unfortunately, nice tries don't win anything.
Exactly. They need more in this round, Tom. More than just a glimmer of hope. They need those flames to be fanned, and I don't see anyone to do it. It's a Sheriff and a rifle picked up by Click. 2 away from the ult. But 4 players to find. He may need that showstopper, or this show will be over before they want it to be. Just 6 rounds on the board for Gentlemates, and nothing is going to change here with Team Liquid.
This scenario, but maybe that'll happen eventually. It's already gone horribly. Shooting the clone, trades out. And while Kata was trying to potentially teleport in, he's not going to get there in time. This will just be for safety, making sure the entirety of the site is clear. The rest of the team just waiting patiently for that information to be had. In fact, they're even going to give the spike over to Camo just to make sure. Cosmic Divide making
spike planted.
it definite that nobody can get any shots onto Camo. Well, they're looking for a hero again. I look to this man.
Snake bites landed at least, but look how many players are there, ready and waiting. Team Liquid using their abilities. Camo sees one on short. They're starting to tick all the boxes here. Team Liquid know exactly where the hit's coming in, but Click tries to use the stun to get back sight. Unfortunately, Kiko's there, filling in the space and filling the bodies with lead on the other side. It's Team Liquid. In fact, just tapping the spike and giving up control. 40 seconds left, though. Nats is a big pick. It's going to free up a lot of the site control, but Serial has filled in the gap, making his way into this corner. He'll be spotted, revealed, the spams into the corner, not landing on him. The trade at least from Patatek, but numbers thinning out. Patatek holding strong, and Camo's here to help. Mini giving away his flank, but gets it to a 1v1, 15 seconds. The spike has to go down on A at this point. There's no time to turn tail. Patatek going to expertly reposition down below. It's a gamble from Mini as to where he could be, and Mini wins! That's a different game entirely.
Timing.
They've seen him.
Timing.
They saw the barrel. I mean, it's just a bad position unless you've got that bait.
It was also, Kiko was, I think, setting up a smoke, so because of that, that setup completely fell apart. They've given up the space. Serial, that's the second time he's been scanned after missing the dart. Luckily, though, oh, when you've got Nats, you've got Kiko. Sometimes that's enough. Still two players, one of them Mini. Kamek still looking for something versus his whole team, and now needs to do it all. Two players standing down to low HP, and more Camo kicked it off.
They might get it. This is a good opportunity with the Stinger up close and the Sheriff follow-up from Kamek. That's about as good of a start as you could wish for.
All the information as well that the C site is clear. They can retrieve a gun or two, get into post-plant positions. There's a lot of ultimates that are close, though. That's the main worry. Armageddon, one away. Bladestorm, one away. Any kills going in the other direction could be a problem. Kamek could get one, though. Getting ever closer to his own and gets an isolated fight. Serial a little bit ahead of the curve, an Aftershock versus Aftershock, but it's going to come down to just Patatek. Clears out that first kill, but there are two more to find, and that time is ticking. You can see Kader's not got the best weaponry, but he's just looking to be awkward, create issues for his opponent.
And that's a big issue. Smoke down, he knows the defuse can't be had before a pick is found. Unfortunately, just listen to how quickly the ticks are coming in on that spike. Patty looking for a little bit more, and he'll find it.
Arts from the side of Mate, so it's good that they're back already.
Oh, Kiko looking to be a thorn in the side, but they have rooted him out of position. The advantage stays with Mates, the site to be taken, rolling Thunder put in early. That's getting Serial into position to slow or maybe stop this push altogether. The drone up top, it's catching info, and they're following up, swinging in, but it's Kamek holding the angle that finds the reward. Nats, 3 players to pick up. The drones even spotted him, so right away, there's no surprise anymore. Mates know exactly where he is, and I don't think you see very often a player look for that spam battle after being spotted up, so an ambitious play by Nats, and he did some damage.
I think that's exactly why he did it. Oh, a close angle. That's risky. This is not the sort of guy that you want to give opportunities to. Nats now turning it into a 1v2. The crossfire still nasty. Realistically, when contact is made, there should be a swing, and while Kada doesn't give the chance, Patatek, no util. No paranoia. It's only going to be what comes back line. Timing is going to be everything. They're going through at the same time, an even trade to start things out, but it seems like it's eventually going to swing into the attacker's favor. 2 remaining for that defense as they get picked apart one by one. He's either got to get enough kills that he's close to his ult, or he's got to basically win it. This is going well for Nats, though. This is why you want to get rid of this guy as soon as possible. Kiko gets one as well with the shotgun. And they have not got rid of Nats. That is, as said, in the last round, the goal was kill Nats. The goal is still kill Nats.
Yeah, and it ain't going well.
No,
He's picked up a third, the first 2 with a Sheriff, and now the recovered rifle working wonders.
I said kill Nats.
Oh, well, that strategy might have to be repeated in the next time out, finally.
Single gun completely changed around. An aggressive start, solid stun out from Patatek. Going to set up Camo wonderfully. In fact, the second assist, but goes out for more. And in fact, Zipan's found a quick double, and then Mini's lurking to get his revenge. Catches out Nats. Now it's left all onto one, and well, Mini has immediately called for that rotation. Bring the spike to me.
Yeah, Kiko tried to fake it out, getting caught by...
Fragger in the server, removing this gun would be nice, but I think it's such an unexpected angle to be held, and well, the rest of the players a little bit further away. Kiko actually going back to sides. Got to be careful. Well, loses his life right at the end.
I3, a different face to Mates. Armageddon used. Salvo sent through, and it's Kamek and Kata caught. A huge performance from Team Liquid with early aggressive util on A, and they have sent Mini into a difficult scenario. A 1v5 to pick up. The spike's down.
Kamek just died to the setup he normally runs. Like, we've literally seen him do that exact setup, and they've just fallen hook, line, and sinker for the exact same thing. It is very difficult to avoid, I'll say. If you're set up outside A, it's a disgusting combination. And while Mini leading by example seems like an impossibility, an in-zone flawless to
get right into the game and right into the B side. Camo going deep on that dash. Smoke off to the left side as they look to work A with this split, and Camo will be a real annoyance to these players as he wraps all the way around, tucked on the boxes, hearing the rotations as well. They could bring the spike back, but I think they're going to try to use Camo when he springs that trap. It could be being watched by Kata. The timing here will be everything as the fight on the site. They've lost Kata. Now their back is wide open. They need to fight forward. Kamek, good for one onto Patatek, and he'll keep them boxed in. The spike can't run back, can't cross and move to C without going straight through Kamek. It has managed to slip out with the TP, but that leaves a player isolated, surrounded, and a shock dart to take him down from the grave. Kamek,
30 seconds left.
A 1v2. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible.
Yeah, with how he's been playing, definitely seems like his most comfortable map. Now should have the realization that needs to go back towards C. The issue, though, is just the position of Camo. Like, he has been an anomaly throughout the round. Where he could be at this stage is completely unknown, and Kiko actually watching the angle instead.
Lots of noise moving towards this B site. It's all about his timing. Oh, but he's paranoid. It's still good for one, but the trade so quick. And as they pull back into the angle, the close range weapons, well, they love that fight. They don't like that one, though. Mini shutting them down.
Again. Solid position. Well, the second he's on an angle, that crosshair
can't catch on either. Zipan doesn't get the info, but still fires the shock dart through, knowing someone broke his little arrow. But Nats has gone down, and yeah, it was the peek into the window. Now, he's gone down, no control over your back. It's time to go forward.
Already pressure in. I like that. Isolates the kill on the non-blinded player, but that does give Zipan time to regain his vision and take down the majority of the squad. Kamek came in as backup. We've seen this position, but on the other side, back in the cam, knows there's still a guy there. Stun comes through, just looks to try and clear him out. That's wonderful. And then the Hunter's Fury used as well. 20 seconds of the move is made, and that kill was everything for Kiko. The time is going to be rough just to try and get back in. A solid stun might even close this one out.
And they're ready. Everybody's here. Aftershock in, and Zipan swinging with support.
Gentlemates look calm and even confident at this stage. They are swinging for battles and brawls versus pistols. They seem to not give a damn about who's standing on the other side. A kill for Nats will garner his ult, will give them information. But what does that information tell you? Okay, they are spread across the map.
Great. Go action on that. For Mates, that has been really nice to see on this defensive side. Crazy over rotations. Both players were low, and Kiko manages to find both kills as a result. Rifle recovered. And Mates, they might not over-rotate, but both players dying on B leaves a real problem in the late round. Zipan, well, he was surrounded, but it was a 1v1 with Nats that he lost. The timing perfect for the leader of Liquid. With a plant in, Mini is left to make the big play again. And looking at what he's against, your Omen, your Jet, sure, not too big of a problem, but Mini alongside Kata with a huge opportunity here, and the swing is good, but the kills, they go the other way. Kiko, Paddy, and Camo, 3 players stepping up in unison, and that couldn't be worse for Click. The trap gets put up right in front of his eyes. At least it won't surprise him, I suppose, but if he was just 2 steps further ahead.
One of the worst things.
Oh man, what's that?
Nats has the spike. So if he was literally ahead of that, the spike's on the ground, and there's 3 players having to run back towards you. The dash is just bait. They were very ready for some tricky positions.
Armageddon put into play for Team Liquid. It's towards the C site. Pressure put onto a player like Mini, but he delivers every time under this pressure. Kata, having snuck in along, was in a good spot, but Kiko pulls it right back. Nats sneaking through, catches two, and now it's Kata with it all to do. He's left the spike behind him. That's not ideal, but he has the ult if he wants it. I think just could have grabbed it. Stuck down. He's on the defensive side, so you're not going to need the spike, are you? Then what I'm talking about.
He's trying to protect the spike.
I want mates to be back on the attack, Tom. It was a much better side for them, but see, they had the aggression, they had the spike, it didn't work out. Now for Liquid, they're going right back to the C side, feeling perhaps like there's some blood in the water, but Mini is holding strong. This guy's been delivering every time they need him, and he does with a double. In comes Click, ult activated, information there for him as well. He's trying to force the fight with very low HP on Kiko. It looked like a good decision until Patatek piped up for two. And then there has been space there. Click, oh, he's pushed out by the salvos, and that's ready and waiting. But Mini steps in to fill the space with Kata. 2 kills and the advantage back for them. Kamek there for a double, and it's Kiko. 1v3, he's picked up the first of the 1v4 and has some space towards the A site. Perhaps a plan from this situation, and I mean, even then though, kind of wants a pick to make this look doable.
Planting OB, it doesn't leave you with a lot, even just in terms of where to go. Doesn't know what parts of the map are clear. Obviously still having the expectation, like Zipan has been late on A almost every single round, and now the place he smoked is the place that they're looking to push through. Other side has been smoked off, maybe considering where they are. He's heard the steps. That will at least give the game away for one of the players. Spam doesn't connect and has to be careful. There's a man still in the middle. Nats has had a pop. Oh, there's so many steps being heard, but Serial's waiting for it. I don't think that was an intentional bait, but it is a bait, and Camo's now found that solo man. They've known this as well. Zipan has been holding onto that A site unless there's been a push. Now with no ultimates other than, well, the From the Shadows, and even that's going to get dissipated. Mini with 1, he's been a hero, but he could do no more. And it is Kamek versus his former squad to try and fight versus the lot of them. Otherwise, overtime is coming, and I'll be honest, I think it is.
Oh, Kiko even gets hit by the Rolling Thunder just to buy them that extra time. Kamek, he's got a shorty.
He's going for a knife. He's going for a knife.
Oh,
I
no.
guarantee it. I guarantee. Like, this is literally Patatek just trolling. He's shouting at him across the stage. Oh my god.
This is a great read from the attack on where Liquid have been leaving those gaps. Nats, he loses the fight as well. Finally, click in with the opening pick, and that should get them a plant.
I'd be very worried if it doesn't. Serial now has to deal with the same fate, potentially. Nice shot.
They don't know about the second.
Yeah, but it's whether or not Kata actually swings first and actually gets the info, but Kata is there. Just by the TP again. Kiko seems to get so much space from absolutely nothing, but it's Zipan. 2 quick kills through the smoke, and only Camo standing. He'll go down. Many a time, Zipan looking for the fight, even swinging out for the fight, will go down because of it. And as said, a lot of the time, he has been that solo hold. The thing is, though, mates are not just sitting pretty, they are walking up mid.
They've taken this space a few times. It's not always successful. Often Team Liquid were ready for it, waiting for it, but a player deep in window, not on their radar. 3 versus 4, and steps heard towards the A site. Guess who's holding down strong here? Mini's been on C, but he swapped it up, and now they don't know what they're running into. That stun was beautiful, and Mini's in with the double. Gentlemates fighting tooth and nail for this map, and they've got it. Many thanks to Mini for that accolade. 14-12. Utility, the alarm bot, is no real danger, but Team Liquid are taking their time before going for this engagement. Kamek stuck that despite going down to 1 HP.
Fair enough.
The kills! I don't know what strat that is, but I need to note it down.
The whole round so far from Zipan. We've definitely seen some of the individual brilliance that we know he's had in his locker this whole time. And I thought Kami was going to get the final kill. Got to be careful. It is still Nats, but up top, Kata.
A bit more weight as well.
Yeah.
Nats Stun is good. He won't be able to swing out wide and stop that aggression from Gentlemates. That's at least one pick found for free, and Click from miles away is recovering, putting it down to a 4v3 with Camo's pick as mates look to take this in the other direction. They've got to go right past Kiko. The jump peek works out for Kamek with the Spectre. I can't believe he's won that, and a 4v2. Liquid are going to be kicking themselves.
Is he found a way for the KO to actually be made out of metal? Like, because at the moment it seems like he's being sprayed and just is not dying. There's like a final stand on. Oh.
He thought he had the kill.
A little bit too quick on the trigger. Even still, though, he comes back to finish the job. Quick trade, and Haditech nowhere to be seen. In fact, he's going to get...
Yeah, the back yellow control already. You know it's a more passive hold, and with that Viper wall, you can get space towards the site. Zipan traded out on A. It doesn't draw rotation, so they're still here ready and waiting, but with Serial falling, it's Nats. The ult fired right in towards him, still gets two. Delays slightly, 10 seconds though, just enough for that plant to go down. The ult back in the other direction. Virgin Pat sent in, and Camo really taking the space as the refractive fall back and won't need it. He had to be close to be right-clicking the flash in, and they're checking it, aware of it, and Camo finds the kill as a result. Zipan, as the wall falls, looks for a duel back in the other direction, but the trades keep it in favor of Team Liquid. Rotate as well with Nats coming in. Viper's Pit not likely to be used, but maybe now. With Paditech falling and pressure on for Serial. He's had a tough few fights, but this round stepping up for the double and leaving Mini to do it all. But in clutches, he's been good this time.
It was a split second from them seeing Kamek and the spike being on the ground. Instead, though, Click is lost, but Zipan's position makes this one tough. If they can push forward and catch the players on the edge of the pit, they did not expect Serial to be waiting. And now, while they have to deal with the man inside that pit, and they do!
Mini has done a remarkable job. That's pulled it back into the realms of possibility. Team Liquid floating back in before the spike goes down, but the players from Liquid do instead! It's Mini again, digging deep when he's needed the most! Well, just the consistency is... Madness from Kiko! A double opener! Wow. A headshot angle, and he got exactly what he needed. Oh, okay, hello. It's a good job the refract's online there.
This is so much chaos. I don't even get a moment to breathe without something ridiculous happening. Kiko is giving them hope in a round where there was none. 4 pistols still stand where there was 5 to begin with. And unfortunately, collecting the rifles is a no-go. Sending through the salvos to try and clear the player. While using utility, they do need someone to find a kill to get them back. At least level.
Oh, this fight for mates! Serial's done so well! Armageddon's put through. It's going to slow this one way down, and for Team Liquid, this round is clearly feeling winnable. Paditech has snuck around the back of the boxes, and himself and Serial find another. Kata with the clutch on his hands, and he almost gets it. What's going to go into play? And sure, Kamek pops ult before, but it's not going to do a whole lot in terms of stopping the lockdown. They still need to respect it. They've managed to destroy it though, and actually Armageddon almost avoided staying inside the pit now. A lot of presence all over the site being heard by Kata, but they can't find him. They don't know where he's gone, and from the top rope he'll find one. Now they know, but it could be too little, too late. No, that was sent in to destroy some util and, well, maybe cause some problems. Serial does well here, landing himself the first. The spike down on the floor, and so is Kata. Numbers thinning out for mates. Liquid trailing by 4, but they're starting to pick up the pace now towards the end of the half. 7-5 still possible. Great crossfire in the spawn as well. If Mini pushes that door, he was dead. To Kiko alongside Paditech. Kiko goes hunting out on the site and finding free kills. This is looking much better for Team Liquid.
It's a round that they really cannot afford to let slip. Click. No idea there's a player directly below him at the moment. As you can see, Mini's had his moments. Spike in hand, he's been spotted. The run back, he's going to have an idea that there's players around this position, but he is not aware of how close Camo was. Just going to give up. that spot. Not worth fighting for. Just look how much utility sent in. Nice start, but the trades come back thick and fast. Kiko, it should be freebie.
Spike planted.
It will be.
Yeah, Click going a little bit too loud on the way through. Misreading the rotations. It's given a real chance. The side of Liquid. Kiko and Camo, the two on their way back through. Full utility belts. Paranoia still up. Smoke for the spike already. That's putting pressure on. 6 seconds till salvos, but Zipan has to fight. And that's the utility now removed. One piece at least. Kamek bought himself a bit more time, and Paranoia was used back yellow. They don't know where he is, but being forced to spam, thinking they're on the spike, but now it's a 1v1. More doable, but Camo got ahead of the problem. Time running low.
No,
it will be close.
I don't think so.
Very close, but not close enough.
They do the same again. They're at match point.
Swing by Camo. Mini's shutting it down. That's the only pick for Gentlemates so far. He's tagged desperately low. Down to 4 HP, forced to fall back, and the site now claimed for a plant. Push in, not gonna work out for Kiko though, and so numbers back to square footing, but it's Mini being so low that makes this a difference.
A little bit overzealous though, wanting to try and get that close ground, but instead giving an opportunity. Click now finds another. A few slip-ups, a few missed shots, giving those opportunities over, and that's not connecting either. It is going to be the salvos, but Kamek continues to push.
Before it gets way out of hand, and we might already be there. A loss in this round. It could signal the beginning of the end, and Gentlemates! Last round, he pushed up, got a kill for free. He's going to say, okay, are you going to give me that gap again? The answer this time was no. They're pushing in off the back of another kill, traded out this time, but still leaving Team Liquid with the advantage. Kamek hasn't been spotted! And he's good for only one, a better weapon there, and that could be a disaster. But instead, Team Liquid, given a moment to breathe, a 1v3, and Mini caught with it. Screaming again. That, for me, is the sign this is going well. Huge potential, and it's Mini to pick up the double.
Click was an observer.
A shutdown that leaves Team Liquid grasping at straws. No map control, nothing to fall back on it. At least having Patatek still alive for that initiation, that drone through, but Armageddon now with the orb, but I think he was going to get an orb either way. Come hell or high water, mates. 5. Like, look at the stack on back A site. All 5 players here. If this was an eco round, it would make sense, but they're doing it with rifles.
This is the thing, we saw this setup before, where it's an early, aggressive start to the round. It's already a kill, and another comes up for Click. A beautiful setup. They were ready for a player not to be allowed to move away from that convergence path, and now the attackers, they've got to react. They've got to try and take space elsewhere. They're trying to head to A.
The deep salvo combo is just so dangerous, and we get to see it in full effect in that round. Containment is the name of the game for Gentlemates. Turret still watching their back, and the rest of the squad looking firmly forward. Now that ult, it will stop some utility, and that lets them just run straight through on the mate side, dominating the duels as we've seen so often in this series. It's 13-6.